Every Monday we get you motivated, pumped up and levitated, high of life elated. Top is where we located. Yeah, we here to grow, here to reach our goals on Felicia Inspires Radio Show. You are now listening to the Felicia Inspires Radio Show, airing every Monday at 9:30 a.m. Tune in and set the tone for your day.
Hello, you guys. We are back again with another episode on the Felicia Inspires Radio Show. Today, we have three lovely guests, and we are going to dig deep inside our topic. We're going to be speaking on caregiving, self-neglect, and really going into deep detail about self-care. So, introducing our first guest, we have Miss Krissy. Randall, if you can go ahead and tell everyone who you are.
Well, I'm Krissy Randall. I'm one of the PR specialists on the Felicia Inspire Show. I'm looking forward to this opportunity, this amazing thing that we're doing with all these lovely ladies. I'm ready to get used to this radio theme because this is new for me. So y'all get ready. We're gonna have a good time.
And now we're going to have Miss Tamantha. Go ahead and let us know who you are.
Hi there. I am Tamantha Thomas. I'm a resident of Florence, South Carolina. I am currently a caregiver, and I'm very excited about this radio show, this personality that's very different from the norm. You know, doing it big like this. I'm very excited.
Awesome. And last but not least, we have Miss Sherica Murphy. Could you go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone? We want to know who you are.
Good evening, ladies. My name is Sherica Murphy. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I am a part of the crew as well as on the Felicia Inspire Show. And I'm very excited as well to go along this journey working with the ladies and what we're producing.
Awesome. Thank y'all so much. And I am very, very honored to have you guys on the show. This is a God-given opportunity and I do not take it for granted. But we're going to go ahead and get Tamantha's perspective on her experience with caregiving. So how many years have you been doing caregiving?
You know what? I didn't even count because it's with family members, so it's hard to keep up with a number. But if I had to give a number, I want to say since 2013, when I started with my mom, when she had to move from Hartsville closer to me, and I became her caregiver as her health started declining with diabetes. So I had already had my nephew in my custody through court. So it started back in 2013, I want to say.
Okay, and even in saying that, how does taking care of your family impact your ability to focus on your own health and your self-care?
I used to say one time when I was a few years younger, and I don't mind speaking my age, I'm 52, and those are blessed years that God has given. And I watched my grandmother and auntie that lost the battles back in 2007, and how she was a caregiver for everybody, her family, and then she took on her sisters and stuff like that, special needs, and I watch her and I'm like, God, she do so much, not knowing that, when she passed away, that I would become, the baton was pretty much passed to me to do what she's doing, and I see a lot of her in me now. So it has affected me to the point where I'm like, I sometimes feel like I'm kind of losing myself. So I'm trying to keep up with me.
On a typical day, how is life in your world?
Really busy, and it's almost like the day go by so fast because I'm so consumed with caring for one or the other or two or more. That the day go by and I'll be like, what happened? Where did the day go? I mean, it just got started. So it moves fast.
Okay. And Sherica and Krissy, if y'all can chime in and just kind of elaborate on that.
I can understand that when you're the go-to in the family, I hadn't really been like a caretaker for people, but I'm the listening ear to a lot of people. I'm a nurturer. Um, so I guess I can say that is a little bit of caregiving, right? Because you got to listen to
Mhm.
everybody, and people don't even know that you have your own issues, you have your own things or whatever. So
Correct.
I commend you, Tamantha, for being that caregiver, and your grandmother, I'm sure, left that to you. So I'm sure I know you're doing a wonderful job. I met you in person and fell in love with you. So I know you're doing a wonderful job. So whoever you're taking care of, I know they're blessed to have you to be the one to take care of them.
Awesome. And Sherica, how can we kind of elaborate on that? Because I know it's kind of one of those things. I think that when you talk, I know it's kind of personal, but when you talk about your puppies and you're their grandmother and you're over there just babying them up, just kind of give us some insight on your world in caregiving.
Well, I had a history of caregiving as well, with my grandparents, so I understand how Miss Samantha feels. And then moving on down the line, I think it's like natural for women to be
Mhm.
caregivers. I think it's just something in us. Then moving forward in life, taking care of, kids and loved ones and spouses, and moving on down to my little puppies. So it can all affiliate itself in its own way in life, and it is time consuming. It is kind of stressful, and if you don't have that schedule mapped out, it's like, oh my goodness, where do I start today?
Mhm. Mhm.
Is it the puppies first? Is it me? Is it my husband first? Is it the house? So I definitely can understand, and I definitely can relate.
Right. And I think that's we are nurturers by nature. That's just it. That's just how we are. We're just nurturers. And I think that sometimes we tend to put ourselves on the back burner and put other people first because we empathize, right? We
Guilty.
empathize with a lot of people, and it's like you forget about self, and it's natural. That's just something that we do. So I think that for me, having a lot of weight on me and a lot of things that I carry, I think that I put a lot of people before me as well. So I definitely can relate to that. So Samantha, what do you think are some of your biggest challenges that you face when it comes to balancing your own well-being and caring for your loved ones?
I've I've learned lately, and this is just here lately, this year, and you know, from the years that I've been caregiving, and I think it may be a little wisdom and age intertwined, but
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest challenge for me now is learning how to not feel guilty about me time or how much
Mm-hmm.
time I give to me.
Okay.
I think that's my biggest challenge.
Okay. And what are some of your daily rituals that you do to kind of soothe your mind and kind of take step back and say, okay, this is going to help me get through?
I've learned to talk to me. You know, and sometimes it's a funny thing because people are like, you talking to yourself? I'll just say something like, Samantha, nah, you need to calm down. Samantha, slow down. You know, I learned to talk to me because of the fact that I get to moving so fast and so much be going on, and all I want to do is to make sure everybody out of the 9 or the 10
Mm-hmm.
is okay. So
Correct.
time be moving, and I get real antsy, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak. So I have to talk. I talk to me and tell me it's going to be okay. And I have this favorite scripture that I like to relate to throughout the
Mm-hmm.
day. Psalms 91. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High God shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Means that there's my dwelling place. When I get overwhelmed with life's issues, life, and in a day, I repeat that verse, and it kind of soothes me because I used to have anxiety to the point where I wake up out my sleep. I have the anxiety. You feel like I'm going to die. I'm having a heart attack. It's because my doctor said you're just overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed with so much. So I learned to talk to me. I learned to quote scriptures. I learned to do affirmations to get me through the day.
Correct. And affirmations play a huge part in every woman. And sometimes you have to look in the mirror and say, hey, I'm beautiful, I'm pretty, I'm blessed. And those things, words can go a long way, and the tongue is a powerful thing. And when you speak those things into your life, you really it grows within you, and you begin to believe it. And so taking that into consideration, I feel like when we have those affirmations, it can help other people as well. Because, when you got to practice what you preach, right? So in that sense, you want to make sure that, okay, it's self okay. Am I okay? Am I living by what I'm saying?
Mm.
Right? So I feel as though, we as women, we hold so much. The littlest things, mean so much to us. So I think that, the affirmations do mean a lot. And I've even, written down notes and stick them to my mirror and have that self-talk with myself, like, girl, you bomb. Because we are our own critics, and it's hard. It's like it's one thing to say it to yourself, but it's one thing to hear it from someone else, right? So I think that when you hear it from somebody else, it seems to mean more. But if I say, hey, Tamantha, girl, you look good today, but just before I saw you, you probably was like, oh, I don't think I look good in this, So I think that it means so much more, even just to hear it from someone else. But I think that being able to say it to yourself is something that, we overcome. And I just feel like it's way harder to get yourself to believe it,
Right.
That's true.
And Krissy, Sherica, y'all can chime in and comment and let us know how y'all feeling.
I agree with you. And sometimes as a woman, sometimes you don't even realize that you're feeling that way. You're just waking up, going on about your day, and then it just takes that one focus in the mirror to realize, wow, I've been so hard on myself. I haven't even took the time to even tell myself congratulations or thank you or you are the best or you're one of the million. So it can be hard on a daily.
Most definitely.
Definitely. Yeah, because I'm the same way. Like, I like building other people up, so I don't really build myself up like I should. But I'm working on that. So it's hard for women. But with me, I'm getting better with taking care of me. Like, me is my noun. So, like, I want everybody to understand, like, this is Krissy's time. I mean, I done moved out of state, out of Texas. Folks can't get to me. They don't know where I'm at. And I'm okay with that, call me, and so
right. I think even when you say, like, when you say you move, like, I feel like you get a fresh new start when you move.
Yep. I don't know people.
It's just like you get that fresh slate to say, you know what, it's time for a new me. Mm-hmm. So, So Tamantha, how do you tend to cope with the feelings when you're feeling overwhelmed and exhausted? How do you cope with it?
I think I've become a crybaby, and I live by this quote that you hear a lot: "It's okay to not be okay." That means a lot to me. It's become real dear to me, and I tell everybody else because I am an encourager. I like to inspire people by encouraging words. Like I just do a live because a lot of times God deals with me on different things and subjects and stuff like that. And when He does, I'll up and do a live video, and that's how I cope sometimes. Being able to give a message that God has given to me for someone else, and to say the least, I know that it's a God-given thing because the feedback I get from young ladies and and people, I meet them in the store and they'll be like, "Oh, I saw you live, and you don't realize how much that meant to me. You don't realize, you were talking to me, and I was following every little thing that you were saying." And that's the thing. I'm like, God, as I go through about my life and do what I do, and it's not easy for me, and when you have lost so many loved ones and you're trying to be a caregiver for everybody else and keep everybody else good and happy, and on the inside it's like I'm a wreck, and I cry. I'll start to tear, and I know right then when I'm crying, God is reading and He's scanning my tears, and He's giving me strength through my tears. So once I've got that cry out, then I feel like up again, I'm good. I got this, and that's how I've been coping lately. So sometimes I call myself a crybaby because I cry.
Me too. I'm a real
Right.
crybaby.
Me
I'm a real
three.
crybaby. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
crying is good for the soul.
Right.
It's
Yes.
definitely needed, and it's like when you cry, you let it all out. But I think
Right.
a lot of the times when we cry, I don't think we cry it all out, because
Right.
everything that we go through, we pack it down. We pack it
Right.
down. We pack it down until we just don't even know how to let it out. And like you said, it's okay to not be okay. And I just, it's just, one of those things where it's like, because I think with me, I have a hard time expressing how I feel. And I noticed, like, I'm a texter. I can text a whole book, but when it comes to talking, it's hard for me to say it. So it's like, that plays a huge part in my expressing how I truly feel until I'm triggered by one word. And it's like, everything just come
Like a
all out.
blow.
Yeah, it's like everything come all out.
Yeah.
And then, it's like everything that you've been going through, it just flash back in front of your face. So,
Right.
yeah. Krissy.
I mean, we're all human, right? So we have a right to do that sometimes.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
Right.
there's nothing wrong with it.
And I think the reason why we have a hard time communicating is because the passion inside of us. Sometimes we more focus on how we feel, so we also take in consideration how the next person feel. But do people take in consideration on how we feel? So that's when we decrease in communication, because we don't want to do to somebody what somebody's doing to us or have done to us. So when you've been through a situation where you've been neglected or you feel like you've been manipulated or abused, you tend to go in that shell and not be able to express how you feel, because you don't want to go down that same road, continuing that same journey. So you choose a different road of recovery so that you can be apart but not be apart.
Right.
And I think we all suffer from self-guilt. We feel guilt. You say no, someone asks you, like, you just, and I had to learn to say no. And I'm still working on learning to say no. But I think that we all go through that self-guilt. And I think that's why a lot of caregivers, they feel like they put themselves on the back burner, because we feel that guilt inside of us. So I think in doing so, it's something you take day by day. You can't take it all at one time, but you have to take it one day at a time. Like, today I'm going to practice doing this. Today, that next day I'm going to practice doing that. And it, they always say it's 101 days you create a habit. So that's something that we all, have to do in order to release. Find that release and get yourself in that motion of, I'm taking care of me. I'm putting me first. I'm not going to be doing this and I'm not going to be doing that, but prioritizing self first. But it definitely takes one step at a time to do that.
Exactly. I agree.
Most definitely. So, Tamantha, I think for you, like, I know you personally, and I think that you are so strong, like, to have so many people depending on you, and you've been doing this for a long time. Even, like, you just been doing it all your life, and it's like, I can only imagine where you at now. But to mentally, like, you are in a place where it's like you became accustomed. You've built this shield around yourself where it's like, this is who I am, and you have to be the one to wear that armor. Even though you may be hurting inside or you're going through a lot with yourself, it's like you have so much on you. So even saying that, like, how difficult is it to maintain that persona?
It is, I can't even say that it's difficult to maintain it, because it's innate and it happens. And it's like I maintain it not knowing that I'm doing it. Like sometimes I feel like, oh, today I'm weak. Today I'm just not feeling me. Today I just need some type of "Are you okay?" from someone. So it's not hard, because it happens when I don't know it's happening, because I'm so used to, I think, being the caregiver for so many years thus far, and it became so easy. But the burdens are great. And one thing that I've also learned to do with caring for so many more. God blessed me with two children, two. I have two boys, but I've become the mother of two other, my niece and my nephew, and of many, because me being who I am, I'm just that go-to person. I'm like, okay, God, how do I get through my day when I'm not okay and not feeling okay and still be okay? So that means that it comes so easy. I just do it. In it, but at night when I lay down, that's when I start to feel the heaviness,
Mm-hmm.
of what the day brought or what I'm seeing. Because at this point in time, I can I go and do things for my mom, and I watch. I start to see you. It's with some people and some things. When your eye and your visual is seeing a decline, my inner spirit get vexed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, God, I need you. Like, seriously, I need you right now. And when the tears have come, there are none. I'm like, but you got this emotional roller coaster going on the inside, and you don't know what to do. I'm like, okay, God, what now? Like, keep me, because I can't keep myself. So many depending on me. And I have my two boys, and now I've learned to ask them, the love of my life. I ask them, are you guys okay? Because they watch me do so much for so many. And Willie, he'll tell me all the time, he's like, Samantha, I don't know what would happen if you're not around, because they need you. They need you. So you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta take care of yourself. I'm like, yeah, you're absolutely correct. And he's one of the ones I helped take care of. He suffered a heart attack and going through stuff like that, at COPD. I'm like, God, I'm not strong. But then he's really telling me that I am. Even though I'm not feeling the strength, it's like all around me says strength, but the inside still feel like there's something missing. So what do I do to to with that void? What do I do with that feeling of emptiness when I get ready to lay down after the day is done?
Mm-hmm.
After I've done all this, after I went and seen watching my mama decline, like, God, please don't. Just add life. And I've learned to ask for life every day because it's so precious. I'm like, God, give life, give me life, help me keep pushing, because I don't ever want to know or feel them be without me. When he placed me in a position to be the caregiver to my family members. I don't ever want to see them suffer or be without. And everybody's not going to be me. Everybody wouldn't be me. I'm saying, okay,
Mm-hmm.
God, I need you to add life. I know I need you to keep on keeping me. So what do I do? That's my question. What do I do with that void? Because it's there. Like right now, it's like a big open talking. It's a deep, a hollow space that I have and I have had for so long. So I don't. Sometimes I just don't know what to do with it. And people keep saying, "You're so strong. You're so strong. You're so strong." But I'm saying, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." You see strength, but I got to feel it from the inside. From the inside out. You can hear it all the time, but when you're really not feeling it, it's a difference.
It is. It is. That's definitely the truth. And do you think that, and I know people don't see what we do on behind closed doors, but do you think they know and they value the things that you sacrifice for them?
Um, yes, yes, sometimes, and no, sometimes. Because even with this man in my life, I'm like, I'll be there for you all the time, and it's not a thing that I want to. But I want you to. Some days it may be something you say, or the tone in your voice, or something that just triggers me and be like, you don't even appreciate me. All I do and have done and still doing, I don't feel sometimes appreciated as much as I feel like I should. And I'm not asking for uh, you to put my name in Broadway, and get a airplane and have my name plastered in the air. I'm not asking for that. Sometimes you just want to hear, how's the day going,
Yeah.
you know. And with my sister and them, when you're mentally challenged, they have their own little way of making me feel like we appreciate you. They have their own little way.
Mm-hmm.
My mother, she has her own little way, because when I walk in the house, she'll just light up and say, Timmy, and it makes me feel
Oh.
so good. It makes me know that she appreciates me. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, like during the day, if I've come back home and my niece and nephew are down there, she'll say, "Where my daughter at?" or something like that, and it just makes me know that she appreciates it. But it's just sometimes you want to hear, "Are you okay? How you feeling? Or we appreciate you." I don't want to hear thanks all the time. I just want it. Sometimes it's just the glow on your face, or like I said, how my mama light up when I walk in the house or in the room. My niece and nephew, they're mentally challenged people, and they have a way of showing you a lot of times when you think they're doing too much of showing you how they care and they love you and they appreciate you. But sometimes other people who have the mental state of mind, and the ones that we are close to all the time, like the man in our lives, or if it was a woman or man, the woman in their lives, sometimes they're the ones that you expect to hear it from. You feel me?
Mm.
So like that, I'm like, can I get you to say something? Like that, because I feel like with all that I'm going through, if I can just lean on you for a little minute, you know,
Mm.
I think it'll help me along. If that makes sense.
It does. It makes a lot of sense. Sharika, you want to elaborate on that one?
Miss Tamantha, it makes a whole lot of sense. And we as women who have that nurturing disposition about ourselves, we don't want to be broadcasted, but we just want a little acknowledgement. Sometimes we do this thing where we don't want you to put us out there, but just know we're here. We're
Yeah.
not seeking for a special attention or anything like that. Just a thank you, or maybe, way to go. And I can totally relate on a daily basis. Oh God, I can totally relate. But I encourage you to keep pushing forward, putting one foot in front of the other on a daily basis, and try to find more outlets, or maybe groups, maybe starting a group that of women or men that is going through the same thing, because there's thousands and millions of people out there that are yearning for that same thing. And sometimes we don't realize that we can build our own community and saving one life at a time, one day at a time. So that's
Mm.
so important. And I feel your energy, I feel your strength, I feel your pain, because sometimes we don't realize, no matter how much we try to put on that shade or that facade, that
Mm.
we're connected in so many ways, more than one. And sometimes people don't always put their stuff out there because other people have more stuff than they do.
Mm.
So I encourage you, and anytime you need someone to talk to, or you just want to have an outlet, I'm always open and available, always.
Thank you so much.
I just want to hug you through this phone. Like I want to just hug you through here, Samantha, and say, and it's just the little things. We don't need much as women. We don't need much. Like it's just, uh, hey, how are you today? Hey, how was your day today? Hey, let's go have an ice cream. Just any little thing. But like I don't have as much on my plate as you do, but I have my two kids. I pretty much raised my kids myself with the help of my parents. Now my parents were good grandparents and stuff like that. I have three little grandbabies and stuff. I'm involved now since I moved to South Carolina. I'm a little, little. I don't know what would they call me. I kind of been neglecting my grandbabies. I mean, they know
No, don't feel that
I talk
way.
to them. It's been a little neglect because Granny Lolly needs. I'm Lolly, so I'm their Lolly.
Oh,
So Lolly needed a
Lolly.
little self time. So I talk to them. They know how much I love them. My family know how much I love them. It's kind of different being out here where everybody can't reach me, or like
Right.
they can't like come to me. Like when I was in Texas, somebody can get to me. Now they like, where is she? They never know where I'm gonna be at, and I like that about my life now, But you stay strong, keep being who God made you to be, because I don't see a better person that could be doing what you're doing. And I'm just gonna send my little hug and kisses to you
Thank you
through this, and I'll
so
see you in a
much.
couple weeks. I'll get to hug and love on you too.
Thank you.
Most definitely. So, Tamantha, what event has led you to a place where you said, you know what, where you realized that you were neglecting you?
Mm.
The last event of my life that just took place in January, and when I had to become add on to what I already had because um, I know I had to do it. My mom couldn't. That's her. I couldn't. I couldn't neglect it and be like, I can't. Nah, I can't take that on. And it was a life ending thing. And after his death, a couple months later, I'm like, Tamantha, you have to. Here again, talking to me. Like you have to do more for you. And a lot of times, I do some traveling here and there because I am a member of the Elk Lodge, and we have conventions and stuff of that nature throughout the year. And at one time, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go because of the fact that when I do go places, I'm afraid of what's going to happen when I'm not there, or I'm afraid. I'm getting a call saying, this is going on, that going on, and my mom had been in and out of the hospital. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't go anywhere and stay, a couple of days and be okay doing it. I'm very antsy. Anytime I go out of town, I'm, always calling back and, making sure that all is well. But I told myself after that death in January, I said, I'm not what I'm just gonna be. I'm gonna take some more me time, and some of these things that I know I can't go to, that I say no to, I'm just gonna go, and I'm just gonna trust God, and not gonna feel guilty about being me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm 52 years old. There's so much more, and sometimes I feel guilty because, and feel bad for my two boys because they're just like me. They'll pick up and take care of or whatever come their way. And my oldest son, he'll say, "Mama, go ahead. I got it." And I'm grateful because God gave me children. Now they're older, and sometimes when I don't have it, uh, I know he'll be there. He say, "Okay, Mama, I got it. Go ahead." For the weekend, like the weekend that's coming up, they're aware that I'm going, and he's always say, "Well, his girlfriend will come in town and he'll take care of things." It makes me feel much better, but I feel bad sometimes because I feel like, although I'm just the mama of two boys, they see me doing so much for everybody else, and they're not selfish. You know, because some people will be saying, "That's my mama." You doing this, you doing that. Everybody, how sometimes people can just get ugly about the situation. God has blessed me with those that are not selfish. When they see me doing something and anything when my son is off that he can help with, grandma needs anything, or da 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 da. His cousins, he makes sure he look out for them and take care of them and things like that. But I just want to be better at not feeling guilty about going, getting out going. I told myself that I'm going to do better, 'cause from December to January, the end of November to January, it took a whole lot out of me, and I was just like my spirit was still in the uproar. But I keep trusting God because it's just a good thing that I've been my humble beginnings. I'll never despise, because if it wasn't for my humble beginnings, for the queen that we had in our lives, my grandmother, my aunts, a long line of women. Felicia, you can relate. Your grandmother, those ladies, they were so strong, and they never wait on the mate, the man, or whoever to come and do whatever they had to do for their children and grandchildren. That it was done. They're strong, so they
Most
left their strength with us. They left their strength with us. So I keep
definitely.
telling myself, you have it. You just got to dig for it. And I don't wait on nobody to do whatever needs to be done. But I'm more in tune to, like I heard Krissy say, I'm more about me. I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna do a little bit. I'm doing that. I told Mister, I'm like, listen, sir. I said, now I would love for you to go with me to Georgia, to Atlanta. This is a big event. I would love for you to be there. But your choice is to not go. But let me tell you something. You're not going to hinder me, because I need this time. Whatever time that I'm given and can go, I've made the choice since January, after we buried my first cousin that lost the battle to cancer, 46 years old. I said, uh-uh. Someone is in place to help take care of my mother and them. God has blessed where, there are funds set aside for families. There are people set aside for families. Medicare, Medicaid, paid families for community care and stuff of that nature. And I was the last to know because you're so caught up in being a caregiver to them, you're not worried about their agency. There's people out there that can help do this stuff and be there throughout the day and help with their needs. I mean, you're so caught up in just being a caregiver because you're just used to doing it. But use the resources. So I've started to use the resources because if I don't, there would be no time for me. I feel because I'm too caught up in everybody and everything. Doctor's appointments, throughout the month. Dentist appointments throughout the month. And for me times 9. And sometimes I miss my appointments because I'm so caught up in taking care of theirs. So yes, I've started to be like, okay, I'm traveling. Whatever comes that I can go and be a part of, I will do it.
That's right. And and I think that we have to be selfish with our own self, right? So I had to live by that. I got to be selfish with me. And I tell people all the time, stop making people problem your problem, right? So you just have to prioritize what's, find that balance and put you first, not saying neglecting anyone or anything, but, just on a self-care level, you have to put you first and understand that we fight hidden battles that people don't even know about. Right. And it's one of those things where it's like, I have to remain to keep my own sanity. And I just said the other day, even going through this whole process of having the Felicia Inspire Show, it's a lot. People don't see what goes on behind closed doors, but they see the end product. And I think when you have a lot on your shoulders, you have to maintain that persona that you're okay, right? And then when you get home, it's like you're screaming, you're pulling your hair all out. So I think that you just have to be selfish with you and say, you know what, I'm going to put me first. I don't care what it is, what time it is. I'm going to put me first. Take even just a second to do breathing exercises and just breathe in and breathe out. And I do a lot of meditation because it helps you to stay grounded in who you are. When you know who you are, you know what you can do, what you're capable of doing. But having to know and connect with your higher self, you have to know your higher self to know you. And I feel it's like when you're connected, it helps you to be able to deal with all these things around you because we don't have this strength on our own. This powerful strength that we have as women, this power don't just come from anywhere. And I lose so many nights of sleep, so many hours going nonstop. And I'm like, where did I get this strength from? Trying to figure out where did I get this power from? And it's like, you realize that I think sometimes I say I'm superwoman with superpowers, living in the supernatural, because we can do the unthinkable, right? There's nothing impossible. There's nothing that we can't do. Whatever we put our minds to, we can do it. And that concept within itself starts from within. If you don't believe that you can do the impossible, you won't ever do it. But you have to put that faith in yourself and say, you know what, I am that queen and I'm going to walk in my own power and I'm going to stand in it and stand strong. And I think that, knowing who you are is very, very important.
I agree. I do.
Okay, Sherica, you want to elaborate on that?
I agree, and I embrace all the ladies here on the panel because on a daily I do. We all do. We carry so much baggage. Till we don't realize that we're neglecting ourselves. I realized it probably a month or two ago when I realized, hey, I'm missing appointments as well. Not keeping the house clean, but it is clean, because I'm carrying on employees, my husband, the animals, and family members and things like that. So we do tend, and you don't really realize that you don't mean any harm by it. It's just keep getting up and going on and on and on about your day and about your life. Sometimes I find myself falling asleep in the car on the way to en route to somewhere because I'm really tired. I'm really mentally exhausted, but I don't realize it until I get into a place where I need rest. My body's shutting down, and I need to take 5 for myself so that I can keep moving forward, because I have this saying, when I'm gone, this world is still going to keep turning, you know? Everything is going to still be out there going on when I'm gone. So I have to remember, while I'm here above ground, Sherica got to do what Sherica got to do for Sherica, you know? And it took me maybe 4 months ago to realize that. That's just 4 months ago, and I am 45 years old. I was so consumed about everybody else's bills, everybody else's time, everybody else's problems, everybody else's help. You know, I went to the doctor and had health issues, and I didn't even know, because I was taking care of somebody else, you know. So it just took what they was going through to make me stop and say, well, dang, I have, sleepless nights. I have low energy. I have cold chills and stuff. I'm like, let me go see about me. So I just, yes, ladies, we are all valuing the same things. And even right here today, starting today, we can start taking time to take care of each other as a community, more or less than a job or obligation.
Okay. And I think, and I do agree with that as well, being able to encourage someone else. And I think that it's very, very tough to have to encourage yourself, because we don't always have that backbone. We don't always have someone to run to, that ear, that shoulder to cry on, because everybody don't empathize. Everybody can understand what you are going through. And I tell people all the time, I haven't been through everything it is in life, but I feel like sometimes, I just tell people I can feel for you. I can empathize with you. I can empathize for you, because we don't know what people go through on a day-to-day basis, and there's nothing new under the sun at all. There's someone who's gone through this, there's someone who's gone through that, but they go through it on a different level. Mm-hmm. There's levels to the thing. And when you get on a level where you feel like it's overbearing, it's like you don't have nobody to tell. You don't have nobody to really tell, how intense it is, because it's very intense. And I think from my perspective, I had to self-evaluate what was more important for me, what was going to work for me, and how can I make sure that I can maintain my own sanity. So I find that when I write, and I doodle a lot. Sometimes I'm writing and don't even know what I'm writing. Sometimes I'm doodling, don't even know what I'm doodling for. But I know they say you can't have 2 ideas all at one time. You can only think of one idea at one time. And Krissy, I've talked to you several times, and in the middle of talking about one thing, I'm like, what did I just say? Because my mind is spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, and people don't understand. Like, I think right now, currently in this very moment, I'm creatively drained. And when I say creatively drained, I think that when you have so much ideas, you just have to get it all out. And when you think so much, you actually can think yourself to death, right? And you can not be doing something, but you're tired, but your mind is constantly going. And if you don't know how to settle your mind, you have to take a step back and say, you know what, I got to get somewhere and sit down. Right. Because you can literally think yourself to death, literally.
Your body will shut down on you. I've had that happen. So.
And how was that experience?
It won't happen anymore.
Right.
I need my little body, so I gotta take better care of myself. So we just go. We go. Our minds are always in 50 million places. We got this person texting, this person calling, this person, you're working, whatever you're doing, but that can drain you. I'm a witness of that. I am.
Most definitely. So what kind of encouragement can Tamantha, can you just give somebody, because everybody are not mentally there, right? You got somebody out there that's ready to jump off a bridge. You got somebody over here that's ready to pull the trigger. how can you encourage that person and say it's gonna be okay? Like, what can you tell them that's going to give them that assurance that tomorrow's gonna be a better day?
The first thing I would say is to never stop trusting God. Never stop trusting Him even when you can't trace Him. Leaning on Him and taking the invitation to lean on Him. He gave us the invitation that we can lean on Him, and I'm learning more now to do that. So that would definitely be the first thing I would say. Trust God and lean and depend on Him, no matter how hard it gets, because we've heard this saying that God gives His battles to the strongest people. Well, that's the truth, So, and I would definitely also say to not lose yourself. It's okay to care. It's okay to be a caregiver. It's okay to be the go-to. It's okay to be the shoulder. It's okay to be the giver. It's okay, but you cannot lose you in the process of being you. Don't lose you in the process of being you. You cannot help what God has put on the inside. These things are innate. I mean, I've heard people say before, it takes a good person to do such and such and such. Well, it does. It takes a strong person to do this. Well, it does. And it takes a person with a very caring heart. These things are innate. This is God given. We don't, because there's a lot of people in the world that can give a hill of beans about anybody. There are people that don't care about nobody but themselves. But those of us that God has, given this superpower, as Felicia said, to be the superwoman, let's walk in it. And when you feel that you are weak and heavy laden and you don't know what else to do, leave them burdens at the altar, and which is what I do. But cry if you must. It is okay to not be okay. That would be my encouragement for anybody who's being a caregiver, anybody who's going through life right now, and life is seeming like it's knocking us down. God got us. As long as we keep our hand, in His hand, He will never let us fall. And some things are out of our control. Yeah. There comes a time where we can't change what's happening before our eyes, but we can still lean and depend on Him, and He got us. And it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to feel like I don't have it. I can't. But at the end of the day, you know that I am okay. Because we serve a God that will never leave our side, regardless of what we face. So it's okay to not be okay.
And I definitely can agree on that. And even when you say you take it and leave it, people have a problem with that, right? They'll take it there and take it right back. You don't have to go and reassure God about the problem that you brought to Him. And I think a lot of people is, when it's hard, we have trouble with, elaborating on it. And I think when you are spiritually grounded, you are able to just say, God, I know you're going to pay this bill. But when we don't physically see the money, we worry about that same problem. So I think we have to get to a place where our faith is strong, just as strong as we are. And I know they say you got to have faith the size of a mustard seed. That's easier said than done. When you're going through the problem, you're going through your storm, you ain't trying to think about no mustard seed having faith. That ain't even what you're trying to hear at that moment. So I think it's easier said than done for, to say, leave it at the altar, leave it with God, because when we don't see something, we don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that I've come to a place in my life where I'm just at peace. I'm at peace with knowing that I'm connected to the higher power. I'm at peace with knowing that what I can't see with the eye, I know it's there, even though I can't put my hands on it. So I think that it takes a lot of preparation and, getting to know self and getting to know who we are connected to be able to stand in that element and say, you know what, I'm at peace with it. However it goes, I'm at peace with it. I don't care. It is what it is. And I say it all the time. Hey, listen, I like our spirits show out with me because they do it every time. Y'all already know I say when you connected, you protected. When you connected, you connected to the impossible. There's nothing impossible. So whatever you're going through, whatever you're doing in life, just understand that we're never alone. We're never alone. But when you are alone is when you find your healing. You have to learn how to hear you. When you don't understand how to recognize self and recognize when you're seeing a vision or when you're getting a spiritual download, like you have to learn how to connect. That's not something that just you have to learn. It's something you learn how to connect, how to hear, how to translate, how to read in between the lines. So I really think that, we as women, men, whoever listening, just stay encouraged and, learn how to connect with self, learn who your higher self is. And I think that when you know who you are, you know what's possible.
Yeah. Sure.
And Krissy, Sherica, y'all want to have any closing statements before we let everyone go?
I just want to say thank you because even sitting here on this platform tonight, I just realized something else, that I have to start working on for me. So, like I say, in the midst of trying to help someone else with their situation, you find something else out about your situation, I think I'm going to take the time tonight to regroup because when I thought I had it all mapped out just a couple hours ago, just sitting here with you ladies, I don't. So there's some things I'm going to work on after, the show. But Miss Tamantha, I just want to thank you. Krissy, I want to thank you. And Felicia, I want to thank you as well. Because God is definitely the one that absolutely makes sure that the connection is there. And he don't make any mistakes.
So you want me to cry tonight already?
It's okay.
You didn't check it out when my camera kept going off and on. I was like, oh, I don't want them to see this,
It's okay. It's okay. That's when chains are being broken. That's when healing is taking place. That's when someone is being delivered from what you're saying. There's someone who needed to hear something that one of us said to give them that assurance that I'm going to be okay. At the end of the day, I'm going to be okay. And give you that realization that, like you said, Krissy, I got to go back to the drawing board. Yeah. We all have to go back to the drawing board. We all learn things from other people we see in other people. And this is why this show came about, because the show is built on healing, delivering. We're not concealing anything. We're bringing everything to the light and we're being emotionally naked here. So I feel like, we all can learn from somebody. None of us don't have it all the way together. None of us are perfect. And there's always something that we can take away from everything, because I've taken away so much from just us having this discussion, because you learn stuff every single day. I be around y'all all the time. I talk to y'all every day. And it's like you just learn something new all the time. You learn something new. I guess when you see people, you be like, she got it together, she good, but not knowing what's actually going through someone's mind.
I'm emotional now. It's been an emotional week. It's been a crazy week. So survived the hurricane.
Awesome. But then
on what was that, Monday, pulled up into a parking lot, 2 minutes on the phone with one of my friends, gunshots. And I was like, is that a gun or somebody shooting? So you don't know if they're shooting at random people or what. And my friend was talking and I was like, and I seen people ducking. So when I tell you, I backed that car out so quick and got out of it, but I was shaking. And I was just thinking, like, I just pulled in the parking lot, sitting in the car for 2 minutes. Somebody was shot. It's a lot. It's a lot. This has been an emotional week. Some other things happened this week, but I'm good. I'm good. It's just, I'm going to do my meditating tonight. I'm going to come to Atlanta tomorrow, spend time with my girls this weekend, and give me some love. I'm out here in a city.
Listen,
I
we're
don't know a lot of
sending you
people.
love.
Yeah, I'm coming. I am coming. So I'm just going to say, everybody just stay encouraged and live your life for you, no matter what. That's it.
We definitely received that, and I'm sending my love to each and every one. Tamantha, Sherica, Krissy, I thank y'all so much. Y'all play a huge role in making everything successful on the Felicia Inspire Show. I appreciate everybody, and to anybody who's listening, just stay strong and understand that we are always here for you guys. And no matter what, at the end of the day, if you need to pick up a call in, email us, get on the website, contact us. We are here to encourage. We are here to heal, help somebody to help somebody to help somebody. So just tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that we here on the Felicia Inspire Show, we are making a change in each and everybody's life, one makeover at a time. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.